Hello everyone, I'm Emma and I'm your storyteller for today. Today's story is called The Rock and the Stream, and this is chapter 1. One balmy summer's afternoon, the owl and the hare were walking along the riverbank. I say walking, but of course for hare it was more of a hop, and for owl it was more of a skip and a flap. But together the unlikely companions made their way along the bank. They were seemingly chatting endlessly, plodding along, content in each other's company, sharing the events of one another's worlds. As they came to a bend, they continued around it, following further up the river, where it branched into a stream, and off they continued along their way. Owl was quite refined, with wire-framed glasses just perched on the edge of her beak, and with a little cape that had been fashioned for her out of some old fabric. It fitted beautifully, gracefully adorning her back, and swishing this way and that as she moved. Hare was also looking somewhat respectable today, in his smart checked trousers in green and red, with his matching green waistcoat, and in his hand he carried an old smoking pipe. Owl, of course, had no glass in her glasses, and so she just wore the frame. Equally, Hare had no tobacco in his pipe, nor the faintest idea what smoking actually was. But nonetheless, he liked to carry it. It felt nice, weighted gently in his paw, and it made him feel super sophisticated. And so without knowing what it did or what it was, he liked it, and so he carried it with him everywhere he went, and especially on walks and talks with Owl, his very wise and sophisticated friend. As they continued their conversation, it became clear Hare was having some sort of quandary about a summer ball he was arranging. "You see the dilemma," he said to Owl. Owl nodded. "It is a tricky one," she pondered. "Have you considered not inviting them?" she mused. "Oh gosh, no," said Hare. "That just wouldn't do. They'd never earn anyone's trust that way, and anyway, it's not in the spirit of things to exclude anyone." But Owl pondered again. Just as she did so, a flash of something caught Owl's eye. "Stop!" she said. "Did you see that, Hare?" "See what?" said Hare, for unusually he had been concentrating so much on their conversation he'd quite forgotten to keep his wits about him. "That!" exclaimed Owl, and with that a fox appeared from behind a hedgerow. Fox, by contrast, was far from refined. Although well nourished and with a rich red-brown coat, Fox had none of the sophistication of Owl and Hare. He was just Fox, plain and simple. Even though clearly in plain sight, Fox hunkered down and started skulking sneakily towards them. "I don't like this," said Owl, for she knew behind Hare was the stream, and so Hare had nowhere to run if he needed to escape. Fox knew this too, which is precisely why he was making his way over, inching closer with every breath. Hare, however, just stood nonchalantly holding his pipe, and not appearing in the least bit afraid. "You do know I can see you," said Hare to the fox. Fox hunkered down some more, as if this would somehow conceal him, although quite why he would think that is uncertain, as he was red-brown and his backdrop was a lush green, so camouflage was certainly not an option. "Oh, Fox," said Hare in a more patronising tone, "what do you expect to achieve from this?" Fox continued advancing, but said nothing, as before. Owl was by now flapping her wings, ready for lift-off, for she wasn't sure which way this was going to go. Fox just sneered at Owl. "Right, that's quite enough," said Hare. "Stop where you are and don't come any nearer," said Hare in a most authoritative tone. "If you think for one moment I'm going to allow you to push me into that river for fear of escaping, you, my fox, are quite mistaken." And that was the end of tonight's chapter. Night night. Sleep tight. See you soon.